I am dying to start my hydrogen protocol this morning because I'm thirsty. And this is how I start. I already brushed my teeth and everything. I just crank it off all these work calls I keep getting. This is how fast I drink it. You'll see the rate at which I go. Meanwhile, I'm going to start making some clean water while I'm drinking my water. And this is my routine because I have to clean my water every morning and even throughout the day. There's going to be little pauses, guys, because I'm drinking this. But you got people want to see the hydrogen protocol, so this is how I do it. I pretty much try to put down, now this is not medical advice, of course, because it really depends on a lot of different factors, but more than anything, I am not on any, I don't have any kidney issues or anything like that, so I drink 1 liter in the morning, empty stomach, which is basically right now. I just pour a little bit, little by little. I measure by knowing how much is left in here. Because you wake up very dehydrated. One of the smartest things you can do that a lot of people don't do is first, obviously, you want really clean water. Putting the hydrogen in it just takes it to a whole other level. Obviously, a lot of people don't know that the healing waters of Lourdes, France, that's what they found in the water. They found hydrogen. This water really feels like healing water. So it's super clean, full of hydrogen. It's a great way to start the day. We really do get very dehydrated at night. And 1 liter is like the perfect amount if your body can tolerate it. And there you go. There's my 1 liter. Let's go back to making the water. Very simple protocol. This is reverse osmosis going into a carbon distiller. The distiller is going to fully clean the water. Reverse osmosis will not clean it completely. This all depends on how strict you are about water, or maybe how badly you want to either stay healthy or get healthy, or maybe even have some condition go away, because my water has to be clean. If you want to know the ones that I use and recommend, they're from a website called mypurewater.com. Because they're really one of the best. They're made in America, higher grade steel, stainless steel. And for the price, I think they're excellent. There's cheaper ones from like China and whatnot, but if that's all I had, that would be all I have. But I have options, and these guys are amazing. And I love their third-party lab testing too. So that's the morning protocol so far in regards to just the hydrogen water. You can see I already had my liter. So what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually, I think I'm just going to have a tiny bit more, just a tiny bit. I don't like to go too much over a liter. And then what I'm going to do is shut it off. And refill it, because now I'm going to start making the hydrogen smoothie. Now, because there was half a liter in there, because the whole thing holds 1.5 liters, I drank 1 liter. There's a half a liter in there. That means I'm adding 1 liter, which means it technically doesn't take 30 minutes now to fully saturate the water. It would take about 20 minutes. But either way, oh, and see, now it's asking for water. That's what that light means. And so we'll go ahead and grab some. I'll use this guy. When it's flashing and yet there's water in it, that means that it's only 50 cc's short. It's a great design because you just add very little bit here and there. They used to have these other models where they have big tanks and they get moldy and stuff, and they found out that little by little keeps it clean. And so let's see here. The water's going down a little slow today, so we'll wait for that to do that. Probably should have, there we go. Okay, there we go. So that's running. And that's the morning routine. Okay, and let's see. I do have some water, quote unquote, to harvest from yesterday. So the distiller, I left it on last night so I can wake up to clean water. And like I said, this is the morning routine, guys. It's not particularly complicated. They do have more expensive systems. Somebody recently contacted me. He's like, no, I'm going to buy the more expensive one because they have an expensive one that is completely hooked up to the water lines and does it all automatically. And it has a really big tank. And they're just like, that's easier. I'm doing the countertop system because it's more inexpensive. And, it's just affordable. It's cheap. The quality of the water is the same. It's all about convenience and options. And then I'm going to put 1 drop of minerals. These minerals, they eliminate the salt, pretty much all the salt, which I like. Salt is not the best thing, too much of it. And there we go. And that's how we purify our water. And now we can get on with breakfast. So that's kind of the full protocol almost, as far as the morning routine. And thanks for the thumbs up. And it looks like pretty much nobody's in here. But that's okay. I'm going to just do my routine anyway. So see, now it's going to take me a little while to make the smoothie, but that's perfect because I have a stomach that's full of hydrogen water right now. And it just works out, Okay, so now the smoothie. So now this water's going to go through me. I'm going to get very well hydrated. It's going to soak up in my GI system. And meanwhile, I'm going to make something highly, highly nutritional. Let's see, when do these things expire? Oh, I got time. I guess I don't need to use that today. And so this is all about nutrients. It's funny because this smoothie that I make, I gotta say, it's more nutritious than even my dinners. This is where I really get all my nutrients, and it's all food. Notice that everything is food. I don't do pills and this type of stuff, and it just depends what you want to do, but the data clearly shows that you really want to get your nutrients from food because the body assimilates it better. And and we got to figure out what is actually making us sick. I mean, a lot of stuff, in my personal opinion, is in our water, processed foods. I'm actually planning on doing a video if you guys are interested. I'm going to try to see if I can do it today. Even they're finding some new stuff about contact lenses. And not just some of them, all of them, all the ones that were tested. They all pretty much make the stuff with the same materials. And I was going to do a whole video on that because that stuff is pretty gnarly. That's the reason I use hydrogen. A lot of people don't know the protective value of hydrogen. It's just so protective to the body. It's like I would feel like I'd be walking around without a force field if I didn't have my hydrogen in regards to like things that could potentially affect my health. But anyway, I put those powders in there again for the nutrients because I know that my food will not be enough. So that stuff in there is like putting in like a multivitamin, but it's all superfoods. So they're really, the food the nutrients coming from food. And then we're going to add a bunch of interesting things today. As usual, yes, it ends up being absolutely delicious, but at the same time, it ends up being good for you. So the powders are foundational, though. To me, we know that food is deficient, guys. You're not going to get enough nutrients. Flax seeds, organic, of course. Flax seeds have been shown to be anti-cancerous. They have a bunch of other studies in regards to other health benefits of them, but that's the one that I remembered kind of the most. When I find stuff that I know is good for me, I'll put a check mark in my mind. I'll say, okay, I know that this is going to be good, but I don't necessarily remember every single thing that every single food does. I know that oftentimes this stuff is anti-parasitic. I know that it's anti-cancerous and sometimes anti-angiogenic, and that seems to be the major stuff that I see. Now, these are super greens. All this stuff, if you're also going to notice, here's one of the secrets, guys, to try not to get sick or trying to overcome something that is potentially making us sick, is lots of fiber and greens, but everything is basically, how would I say, everything is just like basic ingredients. This is not processed food. And this is just vegetables. They obviously have chlorophyll. They are anti-cancerous. If you just have to go look at the research. They carry lots of water to your GI system, lots of antioxidants. I mean, this stuff is just good for you. It's hard. Most people don't eat enough vegetables. We really don't. And so I try to find ways to do it. And this is one of them. The smoothie is the only way that I'm going to be able to get these amount of vegetables in my body. Just can't, I just don't think I'll be able to do it any other way. And I think it's hard for most people to get it, any other way. I have some extra melon. We should look up the health benefits of honeydew melon. I had some left over there. And you know what I'm going to put today? I'm going to put beet leaves because I have them. Might as well. And according to some data, there's a little conflicting data on this, but according to some data, it appears that they also have vitamin D, which, if you know anything about vitamin D, guys, that is a nutrient that is almost impossible to get from food. And the foods that do have it are not foods that I would want to consume regularly for numerous reasons. Most of it just how polluted it is these days. And I limit my consumption of certain foods. And most of it's seafood. The stuff I've seen about seafood, I love seafood. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love seafood. It's just that it's so polluted these days. There was a study out of UCLA that I saw that boggled my mind about the amount of heavy metals. And then I've known people personally who were testing. They were trying to be healthy and they were trying to eat more seafood and Mediterranean diets and all this stuff. Everybody was always trying to follow some diet. And these people that I knew started testing extremely high for heavy metals. And it was very, very quick. So the stuff that's in there is just crazy. So I don't eat a ton of seafood once in a while. I mean, I have my cheat days, but I have to have my foundational stuff. This is what I found really works. And my foundational stuff is super clean water to flush everything out of the body, keep everything moving. You have to stay hydrated, guys. You are not going to be able to stay healthy, in my personal opinion, without being properly hydrated. The body just doesn't run right. And then that just kind of begs the question or brings you to that point, which is how clean is your water? Because the water that you use, this will blow your mind, but really the amount of stuff that can be in your water, and the most likely is in your water. I mean, I'm not making any claims or anything, but it's pretty bad. And so, that's why I purify. That's if you just, you just saw me do it, guys. That's my morning routine. And oh, these are like the parts that you probably wouldn't really eat on the melon that some people might throw away. You can even see some of the center parts. You know what? This is a lot of honeydew, but I think I'm just going to throw it all in there because I don't want it to go bad. Wow, this one's going to have a lot of honeydew today. Maybe I'll read some of the benefits a little later and see what. Sometimes I find interesting stuff about it. Some of these foods. We are going to put blueberries. Let's see, so much stuff on blueberries. Anti-cancerous, anti-angiogenic, good for the vascular system. There was something new that just came out. I love these studies that they do. You learn a lot about the human body when you do studies about foods and how they affect you sometimes. And I don't know how much room we're going to have in here today. But yeah, I love just berries in general. Strawberries are good, but they're very important to be organic. They really spray those a lot. What else is another really good one? The other day I just did I did a video on it, which was, well, I know raspberries, blackberries, cherries. Yes, I made the video, but I haven't released it yet. Specific tart cherries that are very powerful and super good for you. And in some ways, better than blueberries. In other ways, blueberries are better. That's why I just kind of mix it up and throw a little bit of everything. This is just a little piece of the beet that I had left. One thing you're going to notice, I don't like to waste anything. I mean, I buy this good organic produce. I want to honor the farmers that grew it. This is a very like, it's kind of a, I mean, it's a Japanese thing, but I think it's just respecting. But the Japanese are really big on not being wasteful, and I love how they love their farmers. They have some really amazing farming practices. A lot of people do not know that the Japanese are master farmers. They were even brought to America back in the day to teach about farming. I think a lot of people are not aware of that, but very interesting. Okay, so this smoothie is turning out a little differently today. These are walnuts soaked in hydrogen water. Again, water is the key. Water is the key to life. It's also the key to health. And yes, I loaded up on the hydrogen water, but if you would have seen that this morning, or you can rewind on the video. And my body is just, my GI is just so full of hydrogen rich water, which is, and that's super clean on top of it. And that's just magic, right? Well, that water is going through me as I'm making these smoothies. And now these walnuts, same thing. See, they're dried up because they were dried nuts. And I soaked them in hydrogen water. Now you can just soak them in clean water. It doesn't have to be hydrogen water. By clean water, yes, you do not want to be using not clean water. And I think I'm going to not use all of them today. I'm going to save some of these for tomorrow. Walnuts have been shown to be anti-cancerous in studies. It's pretty interesting because they tried, this is what I don't like about the health industry and even the medical industry. They tried to actually do an extract of it and it just wouldn't work. And let's see, raisins in here, boy. I'm almost thinking about skipping my raisins because let's see how much we can fit in here. I got all the honeydew. You know what? This is going to be the first day that I skip raisins in a while. Gonna skip them. I'm gonna keep them for tomorrow because otherwise I don't think I'm gonna have enough room in this smoothie today. A lot of honeydew melon left over, which honestly is not very sweet, but because, you know. Now we're gonna put one of the more important magic ingredients. This thing is got to be, well, it's also anti-cancerous, again. And like I said, a lot of these are anti-parasitic, and there is a connection. A lot of people do not know that there is a connection between parasites and cancer. I believe that there's even more than that. And the reason I say that is because years ago, I made a video already about it. The Japanese are going to win probably not just one Nobel Prize, but it's about 3, I believe, for this major, huge discovery. Basically, they discovered the correlation between parasites and cancer. It's a major, major discovery. And me personally, I mean, I like to stick to the conversation of health. I don't go too much into I don't know what I can say. This is what I can tell you. So to activate it, you have to stir it. This is a fermented bean, anti-cancerous, oxygenates cancer cells, rich in vitamin K, acts as a really beautiful natural statin, so your blood moves really nicely. Has a wonderful enzyme naturally within the food called nattokinase or nattokinase, depending on how you want to pronounce it. This stuff is just straight up magical and it has ridiculous, I mean, straight up ridiculous amounts of protein. They're almost equal to beef. I mean, it's like right there. In fact, a lot of people don't know that overconsumption of protein is not actually very good for you. It's kind of hard on your kidneys. And so I like to get my proteins in certain ways and consume good amounts of water. And they even warn you with these type of beans. They're like, do not eat more than about 4 of these packets a day. I only eat about between 1 and 2. And yeah, and sometimes just 1. That's why I put them in my smoothie every day. I want to make sure to get natto in me. That's what it's called, natto, every single day, because this stuff is just so amazing for your health. If you can find it, a lot of people can't find it. Usually you go to like Japanese food stores, Korean food stores, sometimes Chinese food stores, and you can find natto. Just make sure that it's, I like to get the ones that are made in Japan. I hate to say, just from all the studies that I've seen, I'm not real fond of the stuff from China. And you know what? I have lots of friends from China, and they tell me the same thing. They actually don't trust their own stuff. I find that kind of too bad, but sometimes that happens, you know. People do one thing, governments do another, or whatever. Not to get too political. Let's see here. Northern Yeti. I quit wearing contact lenses because of that. I saw the tweet from the raw egg nationalist about the nasty stuff in them. Yes, they call them forever chemicals. Also, blocking natural light with lenses is not a good thing. Yeah, I'm going to be. I've known about it too, and I just been meaning to make a video, and I just been just too busy. Morning, how much hydrogen water do you drink a day? Also, as far as inhalation, the hydrogen should get 4 separate hoses for everyone in the household. I don't know if I would get 4 separate hoses, but you can. You can clean them also. You can talk to the company about different options. I think they could probably tell you better than me because it just depends on how you're going to use them. I don't share my inhalation, my cannula, the hose. As far as the water, it really depends. Again, it really depends. You got to make sure you have healthy kidneys. Make sure it's clean water, and also depending on how you make the hydrogen, believe it or not. There's hydrogen out there that I just straight wouldn't even drink, and it's really mostly Brown's gas that they try to make the water, and the problems I've seen it cause. Again, personally, my personal opinions here, and based on things that I've seen and read. But if you make it extremely clean, then that changes things. When it's super clean, you can consume certain amounts. When it's not super clean, sometimes I would even not consume it at all. So, kind of tricky your question there. There's just not what I can tell you what I do, and I just showed it. That was kind of part of the purpose of the video. I drink 1 liter, empty stomach in the morning. Then after I eat, I let my stomach go empty, and then I will drink again later in the day. Now, by the way, beets get your body to produce nitric oxide, anti-parasitic also, and I believe also anti-cancerous. Super good for the liver, and yada yada yada. So we're putting some beets in here. Plus, they're sweet. I just like beets. They just taste really sweet and crunchy. Then later on in the day, I'll do the same thing again. I'll put down another liter, empty stomach, either before lunch or something, and then another one before dinner. And so anywhere between half a liter to 1 liter, depending on the health of your kidneys, certain medical conditions. Like I said, none of this is medical advice because it really, really depends on what you're going through. And I'd love to tell you to ask your doctor, and I will say this, ask your physician, if you have any questions. Typically, they don't know much about hydrogen. I've seen way too many of them either know nothing or literally give some really bad, many suggestions. So many, especially naturopaths, I hate to say, they just don't. There's so many of them that talk about Brown's gas, and there's literally, can you believe this? There's not one study that actually shows the Brown's gas is really something that's working. But it's not just that, it's worse than that. It's the way that people are going about making a lot of the hydrogen out there. So you just have to be really cautious. I have personally seen people who've been harmed or have had some very bad experiences with the wrong types of hydrogen, and I'm not going to say any names or anything like that. No claims. I'm just telling you some of the experiences that I've seen people have. I'm going to put some hydrogen water in here so it starts soaking into the fruits and vegetables. I really wish I had room for 1 extra banana today because my bananas are going bad, but I ended up putting so many of the melon. It's a good problem to have, right? Too much produce. It's really, really good. All organic stuff. Tastes wonderful. Okay, let me show you some magic ingredients, some things that I just do a little differently than probably just about anybody out there. First thing is I'm going to add minerals to the smoothie. Why? We know that our food is deficient. That's why I added the powders to overcompensate for lack of nutrients. Now I'm putting minerals because we know our food is also deficient in minerals. And so I'm combining with the fibers of fruits and vegetables. It makes it just all work synergistically. A lot of people just don't know about it. There's some studies, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Gina says, so it's best to consume empty? Absolutely. Empty stomach, yes, that enhances it. In my personal opinion, remember that's not medical advice. I plan to get one you use and recommend. Yeah, if you use the one that I use, you're going to be fine. The whole hydrogen world is, well, very far behind. Lots of bad information. The best information that I have found is from Japan. They're very strict about doing things cleanly, correctly. But they have stuff too. They're not perfect or anything, but they have higher standards, and some of them rightfully so. They're very, very important. There's things here that we sell, and I won't name the products. They are hydrogen products, unfortunately, but I won't name them to throw them under the bus. But there's products that have ingredients that in Japan are deemed illegal. And here we just throw them in these products that people use, and it is not good for you. You know, but I'm not going to talk about it, which products or whatever, because I mean, if somebody knows, you can comment if you want, but I won't say it because I've dealt with enough trouble from things that I try to say. I'll just say they want to shut me up. I'll tell you that much, guys. And it's just it gets frustrating because all I want to do is bring you guys the truth, but clearly they will not let me. And all it does is time consuming and money you have to spend to fight these silly people who always want to silence you and don't want you to say the truth about certain things. But yes, hydrogen, it's so sad. You have to be very cautious out there. And that's why I just show you guys what I personally think is the best. And then that just makes it, just makes it easier that way. Don't think that I don't know the other products out there. I definitely know what's out there. I know all the different ways of making hydrogen that you would want to do for the health aspect of it. And many of those ways you just would never want to consume. And can you believe that there's actually supposed specialists? I don't see them as specialists really, but that really suggest some not great ways of using hydrogen. I don't know why it is. I'm going to assume it's probably money related, but who knows? Maybe it's also ignorance or lack of knowledge, but I think that they do know. I think it is probably money related, but I don't get it because I would think that you can do the right things without having to, you know, do the wrong things for money. Maybe you'd make less money, who knows? Doing the things the right way, but people always want to cut corners. Oh well, anyway, so you want to just avoid as much processed food too as you possibly can, guys. A lot of stuff in processed food. Something else that makes a lot of people sick. Okay, we're moving on to carrots. Very, very simple ingredients here. Let's see. Gina says, okay, thank you. Did you ever post your real before and after pics? Yeah, I did that one yesterday. So you should be able to see that one. It was either yesterday or day before that. I think it was the day before that. But yeah, I did post one. I did a video. I haven't released. There's a lot of videos I've made that I have not released. People probably don't believe this, but I am actually quite shy, and doing the YouTube channel was kind of tough for me, but I really tried to work on it. And, I don't know why, but I don't like, I kind of don't like talking about my story a lot. I share it because I think it's important, but a lot of it is very embarrassing to me. I was very embarrassed when I was sick. I was embarrassed that I couldn't walk. Especially, it's not like I'm 100 years old, and I was embarrassed that I wasn't doing well. And then I was very embarrassed that people had to help me and care for me. And I mean, I couldn't do anything, it's just like, it's embarrassing. And a lot of the pictures and things from the past, I don't even like looking at them. It does affect me. I don't like seeing where I was. Now, I don't allow myself to forget where I was. And this is part of what keeps me driven, always remembering where I was and that I could be there at any moment again. And it was so painful that, yeah, maybe, you know what, maybe there's some PTSD, but I want to try to utilize it in a positive way, in the sense that, it helps me find more gratitude for the things that I have, especially in regards to health wise. And life is obviously short, and you want to be as healthy as you can during the time that you're alive. Anything can happen at any given moment, but you're not going to live your life just being like, well, I could die at any moment, so I might as well drink a 12-pack every day and eat cheeseburgers. No, that's not the way that I look at things. I want to make the most out of my life, and I found a way that has significantly helped me. And so this is why I share with you guys, and I do these videos, every morning. I mean, there's really nothing to gain from doing these videos other than helping other people. And it's something that I think I felt that I had to do. And no matter how much I've tried, it's been I don't know. There are sometimes a struggle. There's people who are very grateful, and that's the part that makes it all worthwhile. And then there's of course people who aren't so grateful, and sometimes quite mean online. I'm sure you guys can understand. But yeah, so I mean, I posted that picture, but I'd been holding back. And like I said, I made this video, but I never released it because I just, you know, I just, I don't know, I just couldn't do it. Too much, I get too emotional talking about it as much as I did on that video. And it just, yeah. Okay, look at this. We're adding another banana. I was able to fit it in. I really wanted to get the banana in there. They're going bad. And I really wanted to get it in there, so I did. Carrots are absolutely amazing. I mean, the amount of vitamin A, vitamin C, all the nutrients in the carrots, they're so cheap too. Organic, of course. I want to minimize the amount of pesticides that I can. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to add a little bit more clean water. Obviously, mine's going to be hydrogen water. If you can do hydrogen water, hey, more power to you. Doesn't have to be hydrogen water. I just, I saw some data on how it would absorb into the fruits and vegetables and really enhance them. And I was surprised. I thought, what? That can't be real. Apparently, it appears that it was real. And it doesn't just do that with fruits and vegetables. I mean, obviously, it soaks into our bodies too. It does. It does to a lot of things. Everything that's alive seems to love it. Okay, so I'm going to turn on this blender. It's going to get a little noisy. Then I'm going to sit down and there's a few magic ingredients to kind of finalize this. And then I'm going to show you guys, answer some of your questions and some of that stuff. Okay, let's go. All right, that doesn't sound normal today. Sometimes you can't blend this. Oh, let's see. There we go. Good stuff right there. Okay, let's dump out the compost. I'll let that. What I love about the blender doing what it's doing is that it's basically chewing up the food for me. Most people do not chew enough, and I am letting that chew all my food for me so I can get proper absorption. It's easy on my system. Get all those nutrients in you. Good digestion, really. Periodically, I like to stop it because it's chopping things up, and then sometimes the bigger chunks have to soak to the bottom, and then we start again. And I'm going to cut a little hydrogen water into these and show you the final magic ingredients to really get your nutrients and health up the pot. There we go. Okay. Do that. And so, I'll tell you one thing. I'm sure everybody knows life can be extremely hard when you're sick and you can't do anything. So we got to get our health on track. And sometimes one of the more powerful things is just preventing and avoiding certain things, certain foods, dirty water. That really helps. But then if you really want to be super healthy, there's other things you'd want to do. Okay. I don't know. That sounds pretty well blended, but I want to make sure. And I just put a little hydrogen water in these, if you notice. And I would say it's about the perfect amount of time that it takes to make this smoothie that the water is now through me. I can feel it. It's officially gone through my stomach, the hydrogen. Whoa. I forgot this might happen. Look how close that is, guys. Can you see it? Let's see if I can show you. Is that close enough? It's going to spill over. All right, let's see if we can avoid making a mess. Let's see. Yes, life is short. A lot of comments. Okay, I'll go over all your comments in a second. Let's see if we can do this without making a mess here. All right. Now I'm only going to pour half of it, and I'll show you why in a second. We want to make sure this is actually blended real nicely. Real nice like. You know what? I could even add more stuff. That's actually not the worst idea. I could add more to the smoothies. I didn't have enough room before, but now I do. You know what I'm going to add to it? This is what I'm going to do. Let's just, because I really miss my boron and my raisins, and this stuff has been ridiculous, guys. When I say ridiculous, like natural boron and raisins soaked in hydrogen water. Let's see if there's enough room in here. Oh, yes. The results from this stuff. We'll go into boron in a moment. What else can I throw in there? Let's see. I did have a few extra walnuts I was going to save, but let's go and just see if they'll fit now. Yay, yippee-ki-yay-yay. It's working. Okay, what else can we throw in there? I think that's enough. I think that's good. You know what? I feel like I missed some blueberries, actually. Should I throw some more blueberries in there? Okay, we're good now. Let's try to blend this up again. Meanwhile, we're going to get our nutrients ready. This one. This particular nutrient you're just not going to get from your food, which is the best place to get it from, but this particular one is just extremely difficult. That should be good. And that's D3 with K2 in ionic form. Yes, the picture is real. That is me in the picture. Oh, wait, I don't know which one is there, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm putting about 6 or 7 drops, which is anywhere between 5 and 6,000 IUs of vitamin D3 with K2. And the next ingredient, this is the one that was in raisins. This is boron. It's good for your brain, ligaments, bones. But it's also good for what they call sex hormones, but for both men and women. And super, super important, boron. And in its ionic form, this is going to be our second best way to get it. I almost wonder if I should start laying off this stuff because it's having such a, well, I don't know, it's having a very powerful effect on others and myself. I'm starting to wonder if, well, it's a combination of everything that I'm doing. But here we go. This one is ionic chlorophyll. This one I don't normally would buy. Again, it was a gift, so I'm going to use it. But, you know, you don't need to. This one's not like, I'm all about the essentials, like the most minimum. I don't need to have a ton of different products. I just need to have the minimum. Okay, this seems like it's well and blend. You know what? Last one. Here we go. I like it when it's nice and smooth, no chunks. Once in a while, there'll be like little raisin chunks in there, and it's pretty good. Okay, we have 2 more ingredients, pretty magical ones coming up, because this thing is pretty much ready to be drank. But let's go ahead and get that semi to last ingredient, which my regulars probably know what it is. Oh no, did I do that? I did do that. Oh, you know, I knew I was forgetting something. My hydrogen chia seeds, guys. Are you kidding me? These things not only have a good amount of protein, good minerals, omegas, obviously, and also ridiculous amounts of fiber. When you soak them in water like this, oh, they bring so much good water to the GI system. I will have to blend this up, but I'll still drink what I have. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it. No, I put all that stuff in it. I can't put it back in here. Okay, let's blend this up. My chia seeds, I can't believe I forgot. You know, it's just that it was right behind something, and I just missed it. That's right, it happens. Okay, let's get that next magic ingredient. And this is going to be my super, super nutritious, and all it is food. But that's going to be hemp hearts. If you guys have ever looked at the nutritional content and protein, gosh, so much protein. Again, omega-3s, 6s. I probably have to be careful. I've been getting so much protein. People always bug me about getting enough, but I'm definitely getting enough. Like I said, even the doctor called me one time with my blood work, and they were just shocked, especially considering the way that I eat, because they don't agree with the way that I eat. And but they couldn't believe. They just couldn't believe what they were witnessing, and that's why they had to call. They're like, you know what? What are you doing exactly? Just crazy. So it's been pretty wild ride with this whole thing. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I want to show you the last ingredient, but I have to do my raisins. If I do not do my raisins right now, I will eventually forget. So if you guys want to see how I do my hydrogen raisins, I guess I could do it right here, right now, live from Saturday night. Pretty good. I can taste the honeydew. It wasn't that sweet because I didn't put the sweetest parts in there. But raisins have natural boron. I think prunes do too. Most of the stuff I notice has natural boron and stuff that's good for like digestion and going to the bathroom, interestingly enough. But that's why I supplement it. It's another one of those more difficult nutrients to get. Here, give me a second. Let me drink some more of this. Okay. This is how we make the hydrogen raisins. Pour some hydrogen water in there. That's almost out. I'm just going to shut it down. I don't like to leave the machine on when there's almost no water in it. And put a lid on it. And that's it. Just put it in the fridge, just like that. By tomorrow, those raisins will be all plumped up. I like them in the fridge because the hydrogen stays in the water longer when it's colder. And that's just how easy it is. Okay, let's finish this thing. Let's see. Gotta say, that is delicious. But it does, like, I can tell that it's missing some of my blueberries. But that's okay. Change it up here and there. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and have the very last ingredient, which is hydrogen. And I'll go ahead and take out my earpiece. Hopefully you can hear me. And before I forget, let's see about health benefits of honeydew melon. Let's see if we can learn something, and then I'll read your comments and answer your questions here. But yeah, the last ingredient is hydrogen. So I inhale it while I drink my smoothie. For many reasons. Okay, let's see here. Okay, that's pretty delicious. Okay, let's see. 10 surprising health facts about honeydew. 1, it's got a diverse nutrient profile, which might be arguably its most valuable asset. Let's see here. Lots of health benefits. Okay, so it's got, wow, gosh, I keep finding things with vitamin K that I'm eating. Vitamin K, potassium, magnesium, folate, vitamin B6, vitamin C, 0 fat. Protein, wow, see, there's even protein in fruit. People are always so worried about protein, but it's like all over the place. Good amount of fiber too. And the seeds, so this is interesting because if you notice I threw the seeds in there, they contain a special compound. It's a strong antioxidant, let's see. Contains compounds with strong antioxidant capacity, including beta-carotene, provitamin A, phytoene, I've never heard of phytoene, quercetin, and caffeic acid. Interesting. So it appears that it might actually help reduce blood pressure. Contains specific nutrients that are good for bone health. Actually may help control blood glucose, rich in electrolytes and water. A lot of these things are rich in water. May support skin health, rich in vitamin C, which is really important for collagen production. may even boost your immune system, may promote proper digestion, lots of water, lots of fiber, and may even support vision and eye health. Look at that. And it's easy to add to your diet. Okay, wonderful. Okay, let's answer all your questions. You guys made a bunch of comments today. Okay, did you ever post? Okay, Helen says, thank you for pushing through and sharing with us. Your opinions and story have helped so many. The goodness will come back to you. Thank you, Helen. That's very kind. It's always good to have goodness come back to you. Let's see. Gina says, yes, life is short. Appreciate your honesty. Thanks much. You're very welcome. Thank you for the positive comment. Oh, positive is always nice. Wow, thanks for all the thumbs up. Holy cow. I didn't even notice all that. Hey, you know what, guys? Give the video a thumbs up. I want to see how many people are listening and if it really, how much affects this. Let's see. So far I see 17. So we'll see if anybody hits it. Okay, Gina says, yes, life is short. Okay, Helen says, I still can't get over how much you stuff into that blender. I know, it's crazy, right? It's a great blender. But you have to do it in a certain order. Oh, somebody gave a thumbs up. One person's listening. Okay, Helen, I still can't get over. Oh, yeah. Jennifer says, Gina, I just ordered my Hydrofix from Holy Hydrogen just to let you know. You can also do a payment plan. I wish I would have known that sooner, or I would have ordered sooner. And then IlB says, wow, well worth the effort. Going by your before and after shots. Gorgeous, inside and out. Well done. Thank you. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Gina says, okay, thank you, Jennifer. LB says, oh, the pic is not real. Well, I do have a real picture the day before yesterday. This picture that I have is actually, it was AI generated. If I had continued to eat the way that I was eating and living the way that I was living, that is actually me. The AI they apply the way that you would age based on your eating, the weight that you would gain, but it is actually your face. So that is actually technically my face there. Okay, Helen says, you're a wild one, Greg. Can't believe you're adding more to that smoothie. So good. You can live off this. I mean, this is better to, maybe it's not perfect, but it's better to live off this than God knows what else, you know. All right, Dramer. Hey, Dramer. How important is it to properly store the smoothie for the next day? I think it's important. I notice that they start going bad, literally even within a day sometimes. And, you know, if you think it tastes fine, you know, then that's great. But preserving them as much as possible, I think is important. I tend to like to make them fresh, but I used to have so much left over that I'm like, okay, I got to start sealing them. Normally it smells and tastes fine when I just store it in a protein shaker bottle. I mean, if you're fine with it, mine didn't seem to taste quite right. And I was like, what's going on here? And when I used the other sealer, there's another sealer I was using, and it didn't seem to, it still wasn't, the food wasn't tasting as fresh. And you want it fresh as much as possible. There are health benefits to the fresher it is. And so, yeah. Yeah, let's see here. So, I mean, I do it. You don't have to do it. But when I just store it in protein. Okay, Gina says, so it's so hard for me to find organic raisins. Where do you get yours? I did find them at the store, but I only assume you should be able to get them online, right? And mine are not just organic raisins. They're also sun-dried, which I think is pretty awesome. I can't believe they go through the trouble, but I think that's amazing. Helen says, Dramer, I do the same thing when I store mine overnight, and it seems fine to me too. Yeah, I don't know what I'm putting in mine. Maybe it's the natto. I don't know what it is, but mine was not tasting. I mean, it was okay, but I prefer to seal it. Don't want anything growing in there. Alex Richards' mom says, I'm battling stage 4 adenocarcinoma, COPD, CLL, and heart failure. Could this help me? And thank you for your knowledge. Well, Alex, first of all, I don't give any medical advice. What I will say, let's see, hold on one second. What I will say is I have worked with people who have done my full protocol. And I will say, like, there's this one guy, he had testicular cancer. And I'll just say he no longer has it. And he never got any conventional treatment. And I was a little nervous, but he was so gung-ho. He's like, no, dude, I'm going to do this. He really wanted to do it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to help him. But it did go away. And it was pretty remarkable. And then I've seen other people with tumors in their cancer in their lymphatic system, liver, and lungs. Those things either shrink dramatically or go away. So yeah, I do think that, in my personal opinion, I mean, I know what I would do, but you'd have to really learn what it is that I'm doing is a tough part. But super clean water, super clean hydrogen, and these type of things, and avoiding, especially when you have cancer. That's the funny thing. There's a lot of things that people disagree about all this. All I can tell you is there is a correlation between IGF-1 and cancer spreading. And that is found in meat, dairy products, seafood, and eggs because of the way they affect your hormones, because they have natural hormones in them. In fact, I saw this whole doctor give a talk about it yesterday, and I liked it because he was showing actual studies that were done. And guys, it is shocking how much these kind of 4 food groups I just mentioned, they actually affect us hormonally. It was causing women all sorts of painful menstrual cramping. It was affecting the cycle of their natural hormone cycle. That's why I want my body to kind of do it on its own. I don't want to affect it or whatever. So anyway, I do think it would be very helpful. Let's see. And basically, that type of cancer that he's talking about, it's a cancer that forms in glandular tissues, which lines with certain internal organs and makes and releases substances in the body such as mucus, digestive juices, and other fluids. Ugh. Yeah, you got to really just clean out that body. I think he said something like CLL. I don't know what CLL is. Let's see. Chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Yeah, you'd have to get really, really serious if you're at stage 4. You'd have, and you have to be committed and serious about changing your life. And then, yes, in my personal opinion, this is again not medical advice. I know what I would do it. I would go for it. Okay, Helen says I order my raisins online. Stacy Wakal says hello. Is the Mini Classic CT distiller for $7.99? I believe that is what we spoke on. Correct. Back ordered 8 to 10 weeks. Well, I think the CT Mini Classic is that one right there, the one that I have. But I also have the other one that's cheaper. They have one that's 600 and something. And with the discount code, it's like 500 and something. I mean, that one is really good too. They're just kind of a little different. I like them both. They both make the same exact quality of water, by the way. I'm gonna have to grab me some more smoothie. Dramer, I really want to get my grandparents on it. However, my mom is so skeptical. She's afraid it will kill them. Oh my gosh. Your mom needs to do a little bit of reading. I mean, it is, just tell her it's medically approved. I mean, they literally, this is something they use medically. You know what? I don't even know what a chinchilla is. But I'm sure we find out right now. Okay, let's see here. Sometimes I get these little silly words pop in my head. Oh, a chinchilla is it's a little animal. It looks like a little mouse. Chinchilla. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, tell her to do a little research. I'm a little surprised that she's that skeptical. Look, from Lourdes, France to, you know how many studies? It's not even like they've done like 50 studies or 20 studies or even 100 studies or maybe even 500 studies. Even 1,000 studies. It's closer to 2,000 studies. Stuff's amazing for us. But she is smart to be skeptical. There's a lot of stuff out there. You know, people will look at a study and be like, hey, hydrogen's good for you, but then they don't even know the proper way of making it. Nobody talks about that. And I've done so much research, and people do it in ways that I just can't believe, you know. But, you know, there's cheap ways and then there's correct ways. Safe ways and maybe not so safe ways, but. Okay, let's see here. Stacy says, okay, I didn't see one cheaper. I'll look again. I know, nobody seems to see it, but it's right there. In fact, here, let me go real quick. Because everybody always says that. And I don't know why they say that, because whenever I go, it's literally clear as day. I don't understand the problem, but let's see here. Oh, wow, they changed it. Okay. Oh, yeah, I made some really cool, geez, what do you mean you don't see it? It's like the very first thing on the website. I guess I'll show you guys, check it out. So here's the website, and the very first product is right here. And it says $625, and then with the discount code, it'd be like 500 and something. It's like the very first option. It's called the Steam Pure Countertop. Made in the USA. Yep, that's what I like to hear. The next one down is the Mini Classic CT. That's the one that's $795. Then they have more expensive ones. I gotta check out their website. They look like they did some updates. Looks a little different. This is really good. Okay. Let's see. Stacy says, parents, they believe in the system. Yeah, sometimes. And then Dramer says, my mom is not skeptical, but extremely paranoid and anxious. That is too bad. That would drive me nuts. I mean, I've been not paranoid, but I'm, you know, with anxiety and things like that. But I worked really hard to try to make changes. But she's the best too. That's sweet. Okay, Stacy says, that doesn't come up on mine. What? I did it on my phone. Don't have a computer? All right, now you're gonna make me do it on a phone. We're doing all this for Stacy. I'm gonna have to fire it up. It's an old phone. Let's see. Smoothie, I can taste that honeydew today. I tried to retract it, LOL. Retract what? Is she skeptical? All right, this one is for Stacy. All right, Stacy. We're gonna do this just because we wanna help you. Let's see. These old phones take a moment to fire up. Okay, so here we go. Let's go with, oh, never mind. Let's go with www.mypurewater.com. On the phone, here we go. Let's see here. Okay, so we're on the phone. This is literally the website, okay? mypurewater.com. Can you guys see this? Looks like too much glare. Then we start scrolling, and what's the very first one? Steam Pure Pro, whatever, for $625, 600 and something dollars. And with the discount code, it'd be 500 something. So I don't know what's going on with your phone there, but it came up on my phone. It came up on my computer. It's all there. That's all I can say about that. Okay, I'm probably gonna say goodbye soon, guys, but I'm almost done with my smoothie. Stacy says, it's fine, I'll find it sooner or later. It's the first thing that pops up. It's not that hard to find. It's like literally the very first thing. That's so funny. You know, and you're not the only one to say that. That's why I don't understand. So many people have made that comment. But anyway, all right, guys. Any last questions before I say goodbye? Let's see. We did talk. You know what? I did want to check something here. Let's see here. I did want to check. I doubt it, but let's just see. Before I say here, let's see here. Melons are originally from Africa. Interesting. Can you believe? Wow. Okay. They were used as an anti-parasitic. Again, have you guys noticed the pattern yet? All these foods I use are anti-parasitic. That is very interesting. I just checked because I thought, really, could it possibly be that they're also anti-parasitic? But I thought, no way. Let's see. Honeydew apparently appears to be, it's good for the kidneys, according to this. This is more naturopathic kind of stuff. I tend to look at more like actual scientific data. Let me see if there's anything, like any actual studies. Because this one is coming from, let's see. They're rich in nutrients, but provide medicinal benefit. What's the medicinal benefit? Yes, melons were originally from Africa. They were used even for therapeutic purposes, mostly against intestinal parasites. Since before even recorded history. Wow, look at that, guys. Gosh, fruits and vegetables, interesting. Melon medicinal properties. Well, let's see. It stimulates urine production. Okay, that's great. Good at eliminating sodium through the urine. Helps reduce blood pressure. Enhancing the digestive process because of their essential nutrients, low in fat, helping digestion and weight loss. It's just all a part of a healthy diet. And traditionally used for relieving skin irritations. Interesting, even like burns and abrasions. So this is always where it gets interesting with foods. Not much is known about the specific compounds. Come on already, we know all this stuff and we can't figure all this stuff with food. Responsible, so they don't know what's responsible for the medicinal properties of melon. Although it does have different flavonoids that have been identified that play a role in their antioxidant properties. There are studies that suggest that they have anti-inflammatory properties and the capacity to induce the production of something called interleukin 10, which is an anti-inflammatory cytokine that affects the, anyway, blah, 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 blah. Basically, it's anti-inflammatory. Let's keep it simple. Let's see. It's also, obviously, it's high in antioxidant compounds like beta carotene. Furthermore, although the exact mechanism in action is still not understood, that happens a lot, by the way. But it does have a specific major fatty acid that's actually in the seeds, which, by the way, I put the seeds in there. I don't know if you noticed that, which has an enzyme-like effect on the gastrointestinal tract, which is typically a good thing, easing the digestive process and improving the absorption of nutrients. There you go. Melon seems to have little to literally no potential for toxicity and no contraindications. That's pretty good. And this is another one that's been really good too, is papaya and pineapple for digestive properties. Celery is also, and actually I put celery in here every single day. I mean, it just goes on and on. They're high in vitamin C, high in vitamin A. Obviously dietary fiber, potassium, copper, folate, B3, B9. I mean, they're amazing. Melons, there you go. Okay, there's even interesting historical information. Gosh, this website really goes into, boy, melons 2.0. Interesting. You can make jam, melon jam. I've never done anything like that. Crazy. Well, anyway, guys, let's see here. Alicia Gonzalez says, hello, Greg and everyone. I see it's getting warmer where you live. Yes, it is getting warmer. Helen says, I'm doing inhalation once a day for 90 minutes at night. There you go. I'm battling glaucoma. Should I do more? You know, Helen, for my personal opinion is for something like glaucoma, you would want to, I would inhale as much as you can. Like if you have time in the morning, like see, I'm just sitting here inhaling. This is one of the nice things about when I do these videos. I'm just sitting here inhaling. I get to have my smoothie. So I'm able to do my routines and still do videos for you guys because sometimes I'm just too busy to do that. Luckily today's kind of a chill day for me. And if you do use contact lenses, stop. I'm gonna do a video on that very soon. And in your opinion, of course. Make sure you're drinking the right amounts of the water too though. The inhalation is important, but remember, I personally discovered that if you drink the water first and then inhale, it appears to enhance it, so. All right, okay, will do. And Dramer says, I didn't want laser eye surgery. Yeah, then you just use glasses, really. Unless you can resolve your vision, which I've known some people who have, actually. Even myself, like my eye doctor, they're shocked that my vision seemed to be getting better, but it wasn't ever super terrible. But yeah, there was these glasses I used to use and I'm not using them really anymore. So anyway, interesting melon. Look at that, guys. It's always something interesting to learn. Okay, let's see here. Look at that. And by the way, I was gonna make a video. I already made it, but I haven't posted it. Maybe I'll stop this video and go and post the other ones that I was gonna do, that I already did that, I needed to post. Let's see, I have 20/20 vision, says Helen, just less of it. Oh no. Drinking about 2 liters or more. Okay, that sounds right to me. If you have healthy kidneys and all that good stuff. Stacy says, do the carbon filters hurt to sit for any amount of time before using them? You know, that's a good question that I actually don't know the answer to. I would ask the company. Let's see. Carbon filters, store filters properly. They're about 3 to 5 years estimated, they say. So that kind of lets you know about 3 to 5 years according to the internet. I'm gonna get more. Can you believe I still want more? This stuff is good. Boy, maybe I'm getting too much nutrients. That's kind of almost impossible. Maybe I am though, because I keep wanting to drink more of this, but probably should. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, guys, I think I will say goodbye though. I think we're all done with questions. Everybody, say goodbye. And go post, I don't know, one of these videos I made that I haven't posted. All right, guys, any last questions? This is your last chance. Okay. Dramer says, I think it's the chocolate that makes it taste really good. I don't know if you're talking about the smoothies or whatnot, but the raw cacao is pretty nice. I can do without it, but I like it. All right, let's see. Stacy says, and they get changed once, maybe twice a year, correct, depending on usage. What device are you talking about, Stacy? Are you talking about the carbon distiller? It just depends on what device you're talking about. I guess I'm assuming you are, but not sure. Helen says goodbye, goodbye. Wow, look at all those thumbs up. I forgot to check that. Thank you, guys. Many uses for distilled water. You can use them for baby formula, ice cubes, drinking, baking, tea, cats and dogs, CPAP irons, humidors, plants and seeds, vehicle batteries. Yeah, I know there's a lot of usage. They didn't even put the hydrogen eye drops, stuff like that. Okay, free shipping. Oh, cool. Okay, let's see here. Have you used oregano oil? Yes. Don't really need it, but yes, I have used it in the past. When I was really trying to heal, I was trying everything. But I was able to really narrow it down to certain basic things that are just necessity for health. Carbon filters in the distiller. Okay, so Stacy said, how often do you change them? You know, that would be a question. I mean, I think that you have to change them like every 3-4 months. It just depends how dirty your water is and how often you use your distiller, I think. That's why if you notice I put the RO water in there, because I can bypass the carbon filter because I'm using RO water, or if I use carbonated or filtered water with a carbon filter, then I can just throw that down in the distiller. But if you just use up straight tap water, then you're gonna definitely want that carbon filter. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. Thanks for hanging. See you guys next time on the next one. Thanks for all the thumbs up and support.